not being uploaded to YouTube and preserved for future generations.
Karaoke.
Okay, we're in the game. We have Emin in green and Hera in purple, which is nice because then we don't have to turn on team colours and we don't have to have red versus blue. All right. Well, I think it's nice to keep it off and not have red versus blue like it's Halo or something.
Hey, that was a great game, but AOC's better.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about AOC. Yeah. So this is going to be Huns Arabia throughout tonight. You're not going to see anything other than Arabia Huns. So if you object to that kind of setting, please retune your TV or whatever device you're using to watch this. So I guess let's have a look at these maps. In the bottom of the map we've got Emin in the green, and I'd say he's got a couple of pretty decent wood lines. Nice back gold in the back corner, nice back stone. Front gold, bit exposed on that hill, but at the same time it's very wallable in front of it with cliffs and such. So I'd say he's got a pretty decent map to work with. Hera, given the fact that he's got a big cliff on the southwest hand side, he's actually got a nice map as well, really. I mean, it looks kind of open because the front wood line is kind of sparse, but he's got that nice back wood line, and then gold right against the edge of the map, easily defendable with just a little wall to the cliffs. And I think though 2 more back golds in the top corner, and I think Hera has just got a great base to kind of do a drush and wall up kind of thing, and that will frustrate Emin given the fact that he wanted to see a no walling game. So from Emin's point of view, he'll be disappointed if Hera takes that approach.
This is a great map from Hera. I mean, like, you might think, oh god, like, it's not that wallable, but, like, thanks to these cliffs, it's made it an absolute dream. Yeah, but, like, that's good. The only thing he has got a problem, though, is within the gold itself. Like, it's great, it's all at the back and everything, but in terms of saturation, like, it's all at the edge of the map. So when it gets to that later game, when you're literally piling villagers onto the gold, it could be a small issue. I'm not saying it's gonna be like that's it. He's lost because of the gold, like being on the edge of the map. But
I think
it can be an issue if it gets to it. But it's not like game defining. It's just one of those things you can manage quite easily.
I think that would be a bigger issue if his other golds were hard to get to and to secure. But the fact is, you're probably going to be able to get on all of the golds to make up for that shortfall in production quite easily. So. And
the main goal's actually pretty easy as well to take from like it's like 3 tiles at the edge of the map, so it's actually fine. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue he's only got 1 safe wood line, but I think that everything else about the map makes up for that. So I think both players have got good maps. We're not going to see any kind of map wins in this kind of game. So nice, fair game for the first game, and just to see what level the players are at with kind of symmetrical situations, if you like. Let's have a look, see if either player's going for a drush. I see 3 on wood for both players. 4th coming in.
Hera's setting a 4th.
Setting a 4th, yeah.
Now though, but it's fine. It's too late anyway.
Yeah,
it's too late to go.
Too late for a drush unless you want to just do one of those surprise leg drushes. Yeah, and he's dropping
really weird. But did you see that? He chopped the wood, then dropped the farm behind it.
It's because he wants to put that farm probably in a sort of like safe back position, if you like. Because the villagers are.
But that doesn't make. But like it's 6 minutes 30 in. Like I don't mean to anyway. Like of any like Hun pro. I'm not a Tony of the game. But as far as I remember, like in terms of farming efficiency, it's the front ones that are by far the best.
The difference is extremely minimal to the point where it's much better to have the villagers safe on the farm. So if you get your hurt villagers from your boar, it's better to keep them safe, really.
I guess so. But I still don't like it. No, but it's I know it's like pretty minimal stuff. Like this is like top players at it, and I always feel like in those sort of games that like literally small thing can count. Like this is not like a game where like.
I'm just looking at scouting from Emin, kind of in terms of finding out what Hera's map like. He's scouted extremely well. Like he's got the tiniest black area where he's pinpointed the TC. He's found the back gold and everything, and he can see cliffs on the left, so he knows that Hera's got a really good map. He hasn't found the extra golds, but he can kind of assume that some of them will be at the back, considering he's explored the front of the base quite well. Hera, meanwhile, is kind of a bit slower with his scouting. He went to different parts of the map, so he's only now getting information about Emin's map. But looks like Hera is going to abuse that kind of map advantage and just try and do some walls and kind of restrict Emin's movements. So Emin's not going to get the no walls game that he requested or was hoping for.
Of course not. If I was Hera and he says, "Oh, I really don't want like any walls or anything," like what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna like wall it up if I can as much as possible, like just to annoy him. Sometimes like the psychology of the game's like far more important at certain stages than anything else. Right, this will just rile Emin up.
Scout fight coming in. I feel like Emin got one extra hit to start with, but I don't know who turned around and got the first hit when they came back. Did you get a freeze just as the scouts were about to kill each other?
Yeah, I actually have no idea who's going to win this
Yeah.
fight. I think it might be Hera, but due to the actual fact that this village is like right next to it,
I don't think it's going to get there in time.
Stab it.
I don't know.
Stab it right in the back.
I feel like it's a scout, the next scout hit that could be decisive. We could see Hera kill Emin's scout and then the villager
is this, like, always
kill
happening when
Hera's.
I'm on stream or something with you or my own? Like the other time I was like casting, was it Wander and Loisia or something? I can't remember now. Like, but they were doing a 2v2, just random like Arabia games, I think it was. And then we were at the middle of a drush, and there was a pause in the game, and there was like a 4 HP militia, and then like
oh, well done by Hera. Gets the hit and gets away.
Oh. Well, anyway, back to the short story short. Wait, short story short. Story or short. Ended up being like I was trying to bet on which militia was going to get the kill, and I was right again. So.
Can we just go on speed 50? Because since that pause, the game is running faster than pausing again. So just go speed 50.
I am on speed 50 now.
Yeah, at 11:15 now.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah. I was just going to look at the fact that the build's pretty much identical. Both went 21 pop, and both were getting 10 bills onto wood. Well, I'm in 9 originally, but I think he's taking stragglers to make up for that. Both doing scouts, so we're seeing pretty much an identical play from both players, besides the fact that the walls from Hera are obviously going to leave him a bit behind in terms of the amount of wood that's costing.
Like, if Hera scouted the rest of his map out on the right-hand side, you would have clearly seen now how much, actually in terms of efficiency, it would be just to wall up these two sections. Which you will later on, you will scout it out eventually, and then probably stonewall it instead for the late game. But it's fine.
Depends
Not
how
biggie.
Depends how cagey he wants to be. I mean, if he's able to kind of seize the initiative and the feudal aggression, then he probably may not need to do that. Although obviously Hun was always dangerous to cavalry, always vulnerable to cavalry archer raiding. So, how many scouts does each player have? Hera 3 at the moment because he kept his initial scout, although that's 1 hit away from death. And 3 for Emin as well, so Hera's just a little bit behind in terms of the production of scouts in the feudal age.
He's completely safe. I just look at these walls still like, oh my god, if only he scouted a little bit more to the right, it'd be fine. Yeah. It's fine. I'm just getting a bit picky. But the problem actually there is, though, in this walling, is that he's actually just kind of left it open in the scenario that Emin could just tower that wood line so well. Like, imagine you got the tower just like right there. I mean, it'd be very difficult just because of the fact that the way it all is, like, to actually walk across all the way there to do the tower would be very unlikely, but that's kind of like left it open in general, which I don't particularly like awfully too well.
I can kind of see Hera going for a kind of few scouts into a kind of semi-fast castle with this map, where, I mean, it's a little bit more risky for him to do that unless he kind of just banks on Hera doing it too.
We're doing that now. We took a bit of an unfavorable fight there, losing 1 scout already. That's not helpful.
Yeah, like 1 second ahead of me. Speeded it up just to catch up those couple of seconds.
Oh, here we go. Oh, and the spirit pops out. Go on, get. Oh, nice kill. Like that. I like that a lot. That was really well played there by Hera. Actually,
We're
so smart.
Out of sync due to that pause that happened. Like, I saw that spearman 5 seconds after you. I'm going to speed up. Just
let me speed it up quickly a little bit.
No, you don't need to speed up. I need to catch you. I'm at.
Wait, I'm at 15:35.
Okay. Okay, that should be more or less 15:41.
All right. I'm at 15:47.
15:55, 56, 57, 58.
I'm at 16:05.
Oh,
it's fine. It's not too bad. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was the pause
in
the game that desynced it.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Not biggie. But anyway, but back before this fight, we'll see. Quick see. Yeah, he gets back out there. There's too many low HP scouts, and those spills can get really good damage on that front if he's not microing very properly. Oh, I don't like this fight. Oh, what's he thinking of?
Yeah, Emin had more spears in there, bringing the villagers in there, and but still, I think Hera's come away quite well from that. I mean, he's actually got more.
I'm really surprised.
He's actually got more scouts. I mean, it didn't look like he was kind of microing them too much, but he's ended up in a situation where both players have few scouts when it looked like he was going to lose them all and still leave a few of Emin's scouts alive originally. It's kind of hard to see what's going on in the chaos.
Yeah, it was really scrappy, that fight. Like, I thought, oh, he's just screwed up, but actually ends up being relatively okay. I'm picking up a scout there as well. But back to that one when he was actually having a fight by his own stables for Hera. I really liked that play. He was really patient. He was like, I'm going to go back, wait for my scouts to pop out, and it was like, okay. And then the spearman popped out, and then everyone was like, okay, this is not what I was looking forward to. So that was nice, patient play from Hera. Actually,
I've seen Hera do that before. Actually, with against Melkor, when basically the two initial scouts kind of were dancing around for ages. He was full microing it for like a minute, and then he just lured it into a scout at the start of Feudal Age. I think it's a kind of like favourite trick of his. We're losing a few scouts. Losing one scout for one village. Is that one villager that's gone down on the farm? I think it is, which is always a fantastic trade.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't think it particularly matters at this point, because like Emin's up like halfway up to Castle Age, and Hera still hasn't clicked. I mean, this is probably part of the walling that he's been doing that so early on. Is probably really hurting.
He wouldn't have been able to seed as many farms quite as quickly. They both got Bitax and Horse Collar with almost identical timing, but I didn't see the wheelbarrow timing. But yeah, it's probably just seeding farms earlier for Emin due to the walls.
Yeah,
the difference in uptime won't be that decisive when you consider that Hera is that well protected, and he's going up with a few extra villagers, five in fact, which means that when he gets there, he's going to have a few more resources in the bank to kind of drop TCs and extra archery ranges if depending on what approach he takes and catch up.
Oh, picks another bill up as well. Oh, that's so on point with these scouts. Just try and pick up his two bills. That was nice. Nearly got them off. Pretty good. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right on that front. And also, Hera's fine as well, because the fact that, like, when Emin clicked up, he had like 6 archers. So even if he gets up and sends them across, by the time he gets there, Hera will be up in Castle Age, and we have twice the number of crossbows being researched at this point. So he's perfectly fine.
I think Hera's got like incredible value out of the scout raiding that he's had running around in the base for some time. He's yet another villager pick actually. That's really good. He must have picked up 3-4 villagers with the kind of 4 scouts that he had remaining, which is just a great trade when both players are going to the Castle Age and you're just reaching that point where scouts aren't that useful anymore. Like, if you can get that amount of value out of them at that point, it's just really good play.
Crossbow engagement right now though, and it's just plenty of numbers there for Hera for one thing, but she micro quite well there, and looked a fairly evenish trade, but he's going to get closed down really quickly now by these crossbows, and we'll just like clean them up.
Yeah, Emin trying to micro his way out of there, but taking losses in there. I still think he's done quite well though. I think he's only down 1 kill when he was kind of almost outnumbered by double at the start of the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely right. Bloodline's been done for Hera, not yet from Emin. Instead, Emin's actually getting ballistics, and the same as Hera, but no Bloodline's been done, which is huge at this point. If I want to go for a big fight, of course. But problem is, though, is this actual hill that is done. He's done the perfect thing. Put a TC on it for the gold, but also it just makes it really difficult now to find a way to engage. Basically, he has to go to the left-hand side towards the woodline and find that palisade bit there. You can try and
but have you spotted the 1 tile gap on the far left? Is that a gap?
I've just seen that just now. I was like, oh, actually, that is looking cheeky.
But that woodline is starting
it's a question. It's more of a question of if Hera will notice that gap, or even Emin.
Yeah, it's not like Emin's fully walled except for that, and then Hera does a right click on the crossbow, find it. But even so, the woodline is starting to be vulnerable to crossbows anyway, so it's not necessarily that pivotal.
Yeah. Hera's point of view, I was just looking at Fog of War. It's suggestive enough that he could go around that way if he really wants to, but like it's not like okay, he needs to go and find it out really fully. But nonetheless, though, like Emin's got a big bunch of cav archers.
Yeah, Emin's really outnumbering Hera in terms of cavalry archer at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Hera had a lot more crossbows, so he made a lot more archers in the feudal age, but just doesn't seem to have kind of committed into that like heavy switch into CA at the start of Castle Age in the way that Emin has. So, and ordinarily, if the maps were a bit more open, then you might say that Emin has a real advantage in terms of military. Oh, he's Hera getting caught out on the right hand side there.
Yeah,
you'd say that Emin would have a big advantage in terms of military and raiding power, but Hera's so walled up that it almost doesn't matter. That it has more CA instead of crossbows.
Yeah, you're right, but the thing is, though, like his wood is his entire wood lines are really easy to hit. But the problem is that Emin is just. Well, let's just say be honest here, he's camping. He's literally just sitting behind. Okay, now he's going out, finally. I mean, it's like 28 minutes. It's like the first time I've seen like Emin get outside his base with more than 10 units.
Yeah, it was just those few crossbows at the start of Castle which got beaten back pretty easily.
Yeah, now he's going to start coming out and start like looking to do some damage, but...
Both players looking identical in terms of upgrades at this point.